We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet Plus presents White Sox baseball. It's Alex Rios, Adam Dunn, Alexa Ramirez, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with the King, Felix Hernandez, and the Seattle Mariners. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this three-game series. If you missed the opener last night, it was a very cold evening here. Sox were trailing 6-1, came back, tied it up. They scored 2 in the 10th. We tried to come back. We scored 1 in the bottom of the 10th, but we lost it 8-7. But I'll tell you one thing, Stevie, last night we probably had as many good at-bats in that ball game as we've had in the first three combined.
There's no doubt that the team didn't give up, and that's a good sign because trailing 6-1, you have a tendency to let down, but that wasn't the case. And with Alejandro Diaz coming up at this point, he hit the ball out of the ballpark, his first home run of the year, made it 6-4. Rios came up next, made it 6-5. And then Dwayne Wise, when the game was 2 runs down in the 10th inning, made it 8-7. Unfortunately, 8-7 was as close as they would get, and a tough loss going into today's game.
Because of
Felix Hernandez going to the mound, and King Felix won his first time out. He defeated Oakland as they split with the Athletics in Oakland. So Felix, one tough customer, going after win number 100 today, going after his 1,500th strikeout before the age of 27. That's a milestone. And the first time out, everything worked for him. The fastball, the straight change, and he's got a good overhand curveball. But he's 1-4 lifetime in this ballpark with an ERA of 4.75. So hopefully we can get to Felix today with Dylan Axelrod going to the mound.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. It's a moderately warm compared to last night, but very blustery day today. Wind gusts up to 40 miles an hour, so it's going to wreak havoc in the outfield and with pop-ups in general as our Sox look to get back on track. Robin Ventura, realizing his ball club at this point, has played some sloppy baseball games, but he's very encouraged with the offense last night and the fact that they came back after a 6-1 deficit. Scored a run in extra innings. Eric Wedge very happy because he started out with 4 games in Oakland, 3 in Chicago, what appeared to be a tough schedule opening up before he goes home with his first homestand against Houston, against Texas, and Detroit. So they had it tough in the early going, but he finds his ball club 3-2, just a half a game out of first place, tied for second. Felix Hernandez done with his warm-ups. One of the great pitchers of our time, despite the fact that usually he wins about 13 games. He's averaged 13 1/3 wins per season. It's because he usually doesn't have a whole lot of offense. So the White Sox take the field. And now let's take a look at how Eric Wedge is going to line up his Mariners today. Michael Saunders playing center field and leading off, and Kyle Seager at third. Kendrys Morales, one of the heroes of last night's game for the Mariners at designated hitter. Michael Morris in right field. Raul Ibanez in left. Justin Smoke at first. Dustin Ackley is at second base. Kelly Shopik, a new addition to the team, is catching. And Brendan Ryan at shortstop and hitting 9. This is the way our Sox are going to line up defensively behind Dylan Axelrod. Alejandro Diaz in left, Wayne Wise in center, and Alex Rios in right. With Connor Gillespie getting a start at third, Alexei Ramirez, Gordon Beckham, and Jeff Keppinger at first. Hector Jimenez behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing starting pitcher is Dylan Axelrod. Dylan last year 2-2, ERA 5.47. By his own admission, he's got to get the ball over the plate. He's got to get ahead early. Throw strikes with all of his pitches. And we'll see with the wind gust today just exactly where it's going to carry in this ballpark and where it's going to hold up. The umpires for the game today. Jeff Nelson behind the plate. Kerwin Danley is at first. Lance Barksdale is at second. And Vic Carapazza is at third. Dylan, a 4-pitch pitcher. His curveball and slider, both pretty good. He's got great command with just about everything. And because of the injury to John Danks and the fact that John just wasn't responding quite as quickly as everyone would have liked, Dylan getting an opportunity to secure the number 5 spot in the batting order. Now, a couple of days ago, John Danks did throw in the minor leagues, averaged anywhere from mid-80s, but topped out at 87, 88 miles an hour, which is an improvement. Don Cooper saying it's still slow, but he sees some bright signs. So we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you very much. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. A blustery day here in the City Beautiful. Michael Saunders, the center fielder, will lead it off. He was 3 for 4. I should say he is 3 for 4 on the season, 1 for 2 last night. And the first pitch is high and wide. Franklin Gutierrez led off last night's ball game with a homer. He also had 2 other hits, knocked in 3 runs. He is not in there today. And he is one of 5 players leading off a game, hitting a home run. And he has done that twice. Two and 1.
57 degrees at game time. Winds out of the south at 25 mile an hour. with gusts up to 40.
Two-one delivery. Hit hard but foul. Thank you very much. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps and 400 straightaway center.
Good straight change by Axelrod as he had Saunders, who's a good base stealer and a good base runner, well out ahead of it. It would serve you well to keep him off base ahead of this newly revamped and suddenly fairly potent Seattle lineup.
Full count. And Saunders has seen every pitch in his arsenal in this at bat already. Sox have won 11 of the last 13 games against the Mariners. As that is going to be a souvenir left side.
Got to stay with everything when it's popped into the air because you never really know with the gusting and swirling winds if the ball is going to be pushed back into the field of play.
I mentioned 11 of 13, also 24 of the last 29.
Well, last night it looked like we would get to Bevan. Eric Wedge did a nice job of getting him out, but eventually our ball club fought back to tie it.
That is popped up. Alexei now being called off by Diaza. Boy, those infielders welcome any help they can get today.
Communication is the name of the game. And communication dictates that if you're coming in and you're an outfielder, you've got to yell loud enough to make sure that Ramirez does peel away. So Diaza, out of his familiar center field spot, shifts over to left to make room for Dwayne Wise. Got a big hit in the 10th inning last night.
Here's Kyle Seager, 1 for 4 last evening, 5 for 19 on the season. Takes first pitch strike. The biggest thing that Axelrod can do is get it in the minds of these Mariner hitters that he can get that breaking ball over any time.
He usually can.
Yeah, and when he doesn't, that's when he gets hit hard.
I know you like Kyle Seager in what you've seen in his brief career. He can certainly play some defense, and he looks like he's getting better as a hitter.
Well, he had 20 home runs last year. Up high. Yeah, he's got a chance to be a good one. In fact, Kyle's brother Corey was selected by the Dodgers in the first round of the 2012 draft. Change up. That pitch right there will set up a lot of things.
Well, also, it's going around, and I know they've got it in a scouting report, but just through 2 hitters, it's going around the dugout right now as hitters talk to hitters about which way the changeup moves, and the fact that if he's willing to throw it in any count, you can't just sit on anything because you're going to be well out ahead and try to pull it, which is exactly what Seager did.
Kendrys Morales, switch hitting DH. He was at first base last evening. Last night he was 2 for 5 with a couple of RBIs. 3 for 17 on the season.
They paid dearly for him, giving up one of their starting left-handers, Jason Vargas. But this guy in the middle of their lineup gives them a different look.
Yeah, talking to Rick Rios, one of the terrific broadcasters in baseball for the Mariners. We're just talking about Morales, Morse, and a healthy Jason Bay. Wow. What had him off balance way out in front.
Well, not to mention Raul Ibanez. And Ibanez against right-hand pitchers has always been tough. And the OPS, which is a stat they've been using obviously the last 10 years, is on-base percentage plus slugging. .800 against right-handers, and that's why he's in the lineup today.
And Ibanez has been a Sox killer his whole career. Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the first if you're just tuning in.
Good change up on the outer portion here. Probably gets Morales to hook it, ground to the right side. Let's see if that's where they want to go.
Now you'll get it. Full count.
Michael Morse in the on-deck circle, off to a red-hot start.
That ball hit into, it was a fastball. Diaz is there, so a nice 1-2-3 inning for Axe. After half inning of play, it's Mariners nothing, and our good guys coming to bat.
It's going to be Diaz leading off, and then Dwayne Wise, Alex Rios, Adam Dunn, the DH, with Jeff Keppinger, Connor Gillespie getting his first start. Lexi Ramirez, Hector Jimenez, and Gordon Beckham, red hot, playing second base, hitting ninth. The defense, and how they'll line up behind King Felix, Ibanez, Saunders, and Morse in the outfield. Seager, Ryan, Ackley, and Smoke in the infield. Kelly Shopik behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Felix Hernandez. He's 1-0 this year. Didn't give up any runs, as you can see. As usual, good control. Right-handers did nothing against him. Left-handers didn't do a whole lot. But in this ballpark, 1-4 with an ERA of 4.75 lifetime. So let's see if a lineup loaded with lefties can get to him.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Alejandro, 2 for 5 last night with a 2-run homer. 3 for 17 on the season.
He also made a great bunt that looked like a base hit, but Kyle Seager had other ideas.
26-year-old, soon to be 27 in a couple days, Felix Hernandez, and boy, he's got a chance to join a very, very select group. Did you mention it in the open?
He would be the 5th player in history, but he would have to win and strike out at least 5 to join Bert Blyleven, Sam McDowell, the big train Walter Johnson, and Dwight Gooden as the only pitchers with 100 wins and 1,500 strikeouts before their 27th birthday, which is on Monday.
3-1.
And this is going to be his last shot at that, so let's see if we can rain on his parade.
Yeah, that's obviously.
There's your old partner.
Yeah. There's a strike. The pitch has set everything up for Felix the last couple of years has been that changeup. His pitching acumen is off the charts. So Ibanez makes the catch. 1 out. All right, now let's check out our Farmers Insurance picks to click. Manjo, our director and crew, went with Wise. Steve's going with Alexei. And Marcus Lipsy and we're going to go with Gordon Beckham.
Gordon off to just a great start this year, both with the glove and the bat.
Hernandez out of Valencia, Venezuela.
They used to call him Little Freddie because he looked so much like Freddie Garcia.
Felix, 6'3", 228 pounds.
So maybe not so little Freddie.
Freddie Garcia makes him look like a little boy.
Yeah, Freddie's a big man, and when Freddie was young, he could get it up there.
Drops that hook, semi backdoor, and the count 1-2.
Hernandez has a good overhand hook, throws a slider with it. But the 2-finger changeup has been terrific.
2 down. An old saying in baseball that for the most part has always held true. You better get the good ones early.
Get them before they get their rhythm or before the breaking ball comes to him. But in case of Hernandez, even if the breaking ball isn't there, he could probably go fastball changeup and still beat you.
Here's Rios. 1 for 3 last night with a homer, 2 RBIs, 6 for 15 on the season. And 5 for 23 lifetime off Felix. If you missed that game last night, poof.
The only question about this one, another hanging curveball, is would it stay fair? It did, and it had a lot of distance to it.
Now the adage in the game of baseball is the better the pitcher, the more the plate you got to concede. You try to cover the plate on guys like Hernandez, you're probably going to go 0 for 4.
Well, essentially he has 5 pitches, so although officially it's 4 because a fastball is a fastball, but he throws it 2 different ways. A straight 4-seamer, a running 2-seamer, as well as his changeup, curve, and slider. And he throws all of them for strikes.
Well, that's 5 pitches. Any way you want to cut it, dice it, and slice it.
Well, there's no doubt, because if you can guess fastball, but if you get one of those runners that come in on your hands, you've got some problems.
3-1. Yeah, from a hitting standpoint, you get a guy out there who, say, goes to full count on you, and the way he got there is very important. Say he gives, and in that sequence to get to 3-2, he threw you two seamers down and in, 1 for a strike, 1 you fouled off, and then all of a sudden you get 3-2, and he comes with that 4-seamer upstairs. You got no chance.
No, either you lay off or you sit down, because your best bolt is to foul it straight back. That's what Don Cooper has a lot of our pitchers doing, getting ahead and throwing a face-high fastball.
Toss that one foul. Well, show me a pitcher knows how to pitch up, and I'll show you probably a winner.
You've got to go up by design, though. You can't just stay up there. We saw what happened with Blake Bevan last night, who started to get pitches up. Second, especially third time through the order, you get hurt. Now, if you're down, 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 and then go up, now you're in business.
That's ball 4. Alex, who fouled one off his foot last night. I was concerned he fouled it off the top of his foot. So after the game, I went down to ask him. He said no, it got him on his big toe.
That's at 32 degrees at the time. That wasn't any day at the beach either.
No, but a heck of a lot better than fouling it off the top of your foot.
Well, this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge to run on this combination than it was with Montero behind the plate. Shopik can catch it and throw it. He's accurate and gets rid of it quickly.
Here's Adam. He was 1 for 4 last night and absolutely had 4 outstanding at bats. Adam said he crushed that ball that wind knocked down and kept it in the ballpark last night.
Just hit it at the wrong time.
High. That wind's got it.
No, it's going way back in the seats.
Yeah, it brings it back. At one time, that ball was way in those seats.
And that's why you have to stay with everything. And the only reason that Adam is still alive is that they had the shift on. So Ryan couldn't get over there. Seager overran it. Ibanez couldn't get there quickly enough.
At one time, that ball was 12, 15 rows up in those seats.
Another life for the big man.
Checks it up, and the count evens at 1.
A long drive in the 10th that would have tied up the ball game. Unfortunately, didn't. The wind just swatted it and kept it not even to the track.
Good eye right there.
When you contrast that ball and that swing with the one that Gutierrez used to hit the ball out of the ballpark to lead off the game, you see what difference it really makes with a swirling wind. Because Gutierrez hit it off the end of the bat and just touched it and it went out.
Count evens at 2. And if you miss Steve's opening,
that's that ball off the end of the bat that just kept on sailing. Adam hit his a whole lot harder just about 3 hours later.
he did not go. So it'll be a wild pitch, but if you miss the opening, our guys last night in that ball game probably had more good at bats than in the previous 3 games combined.
They also had good at bats against a starting pitcher that sailed hitless through the first 3, like Bevan, and some excellent relievers. Capps, Lutke, Pryor, Lowe, and then Wilhelmsen didn't exactly nail it down, but he did record the save.
And that'll do it. After 1, there's no score.
And the Nats. Coverage begins at 6 with Subaru White Sox pregame live. Don't miss White Sox Nationals Wednesday night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. Dylan Axelrod had a very strong first inning. 1, 2, 3. He'll go through the heart of the order with Morse, Ibanez, and Smoke.
Morris 1 for 5 last night. 7 for 21 on the season with 4 homers. 4 of the 6 that Seattle has. Former Sox farmhand. Morris off to that big start, but is dwarfed by the start of Chris Davis of Baltimore.
Davis's start has been historic.
Ibanez on deck.
Dylan's got to establish inside off the plate to Morse because he's going to get him away. Certainly wants him to try to pull that pitch. So Jimenez looking at his feet. He wants to throw it in.
2-2. Nice pick. Peg. Pick by Kell. 1 out.
That's what you try to do, is get him to pull the ball to the left side. Actually, his throw isn't particularly good, but a good pickup by Jeff Keppinger. Giving Paulie a day off at first base. And showing some pretty good hands on the long hop.
So here's the 40-year-old veteran, Raul Ibanez. Ibanez, I mentioned, has hurt us. In his career as a .304 hitter with 16 homers and 61 knocked in. A couple of years ago, had that magical finish with the Yankees. Last year he was the first Yankee, 40 or older, with a postseason home run. Last one was in 1946, Enos Slaughter.
That was a while ago.
1956. 3-0 the count. Enos Country Slaughter. Left-handed hitter. In his day was Charlie Hustle. There's a strike.
Ibanez has always been able to hit the left and left center field. And he gives right-handers fits. Left-handers, not so much.
Full count.
Don Cooper talking it over with Tyler Flowers. Tyler with a quick turnaround today, getting the day off, his first day off this year.
What new? That smoked in the gap. So that's his first hit of the season. He's now 1 for 8. And the first hit of the ball game.
Dylan fell behind and then went with a high fastball on 3-2. Not going to surprise many people at 87. So he's got to stay ahead and change speeds to get him.
Well, that's the difference. On 1 and 2, that 87 probably looks like 92 or 93. On 3 and 2, it looks like it's about, well, a cookie.
And it turns up to hop the wall.
Yes, he did. Can I check it up? Smoke. Out of Goose Creek, South Carolina. Switch hitter, 2 for 14 on the season.
And just another first baseman that came up through the Texas Rangers organization. They've had a few. Disappointing year last year for him, although he did hit 19 home runs.
Nice block by Hector.
The Seattle team, like two different teams on the road and at home. That's a good effort, keeping his body in front of it. Not trying to catch it, just trying to knock it down. But last year, Seattle scored 3.2 runs per ball game at home and 4.85 per ball game on the road. It's one of the reasons why they brought the fences in at Safeco. Trying to put a little life into that offense.
He gone. 2 down.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Dustin Ackley, 1 for 16 on the season. Takes first pitch strike. He was 0 for 4 last night, 25-year-old out of the University of North Carolina. Nice crowd on hand. And the temperature has moved up from 57 to 61. It was 32 for a good part of that ball game last night, and I'll tell you, it felt like that was pushing the envelope. It felt a lot colder than that.
And yet the ball was very lively last night for whatever reason.
Big hack. Back.
2 straight changes in this at bat. Found Ackley well out ahead of him.
Had breaking ball down and in. Ibanez at second with that double. Ball gets away from Hernandez.
Hector charged with a pass ball. as that one hits off the glove around shin high and bounds away.
So the payoff pitch. Billy Shopik on deck.
From a good curveball down. Ackley was able to just barely stay alive by fouling it off.
Outfield bunched a bit, slightly to the left. And once again, the 3-2. Off the glove. And that's going to score the run. So it's 1-0 Mariners.
That pass ball proving to be very costly. First run batted in this year by Ackley. It's going to be E3. No RBI.
Here's Shopik. Now time is called. They're taking a lot of time hooking up. Axelrod really works a lot better when the faster he works, the better control he has.
It's a lot of pitches so far trying to get out of this second inning. About his 42nd delivery.
1-1 to count. So this will be the fourth straight game that our Sox have allowed an unearned run.
We talked about it somewhat. The defense just hasn't been there in the early going.
No.
The defense that was so reliable last year.
Pretty good lead. And that's fouled off. So the count, a ball and 2 strikes to the 32-year-old veteran receiver.
Ackley was an outfielder at North Carolina, had very good speed, came in, and last year had some ankle problems. So he had surgery to clean out that ankle just after the season ended last year, and the speed is slowly coming back to him. If Vergwedge wants to bail out Shopik, he'll run with Ackley.
And he gone. But they come up with an unearned run after an inning and a half, 1-0 Seattle.
games and highlights from around the leagues with Sportsnet Central. Tune in nightly at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Jeff Keppinger, 0 for 5 last night, 1 for 17 on the season. Off to a bit of a slow start, but don't worry about this guy. It will come around. A lot of times, Felix, when he's feeling pretty good out there, he gives you the impression he just toys with hitters. That's deep in the hole. Brendan Ryan with a big arm right there. Wow. Good play. 1 out.
By the fielding stats, Brendan Ryan might be the best in the business. He covers a great deal of range. He's got a strong arm. And that time, he got Keppinger by plenty on a ball that was in the hole past a diving Seager.
Here's Gillespie. Takes first pitch strike. His first official plate appearance. Count evens at 1 to the 25-year-old left-handed hitter.
5 left-handers in the lineup against Felix. Got to take away some of that advantage with the curveball and slider.
1-2. Well, 40 years ago today, the designated hitter made its debut in Major League Baseball 40 years ago.
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah. And of course, Ron Blomberg was the first DH.
Later came over to the White Sox. Was a
Strong
teammate,
left-handed hitter.
teammate of mine. He had tremendous shoulder problems. Was the only thing stopping him from being a great hitter.
Too many muscles.
Well, there was another factor.
Too many aspirins.
No, I never seen a man eat as much as he ate, ever, at any place, at any time. When he came over, we went to a Chinese restaurant, and there was 6 guys at the table. And he took the menu. He said, I'm going to order. He ordered 6 entrees, 6 or 7 appetizers, with a side dish or 2, and then looked at us and said, what are you guys going to have? And he was serious. He ate all of that. I'd never seen a human being eat like that.
I've got one guy I'd put up against him.
Big Frank?
Yes.
Frank Howard?
Yes. Big Frank Howard. Unbelievable how much he could consume in one sitting. He was my roommate.
Well, Bloomberg wasn't a giant.
No.
That's what made it so unusual.
Well, you don't have to be real big to be a big eater.
No.
Oakland Athletics had a second baseman named Dick Green who could eat almost as much as anybody. And he was, 175, 80 pounds. But as my buddy would say, his metabolism and his molecules.
His metabolism. I like that.
1-2.
Well, Ron went into a Fort Lauderdale restaurant that had a buffet. Happened to serve lobster tail night. He ate 49 of them. The manager came over, said, I'm going to pick up your check, son, and I never want to see you in here again.
49 lobster tails.
49 lobster tails, yes. He could still be there for all I know.
Alexei is having some good at-bats. Got a piece of that one. Alexei, 2 for 4 last night, 5 for 14 with a homer on the season. He saw a total of 27 pitches last night and just absolutely, that's about as good a at-bats in one game as you're going to see Alexei have. Breaking ball, bobbled. So Seager commits his second error.
Most unusual for him because he's a very good defensive third baseman, and he's made a couple of errors in this series. This one just takes a bad hop and comes up and bites him. And fortunately, Alexei was hustling down the line, didn't look at it, didn't take his time. He beat the play and kept the inning alive. That means more early pitches for Felix. Getting him out of there will be one of the keys to this one.
So here's our switch hitting catcher, Hector Jimenez, making his first plate appearance of the season. Well, when we come back next inning, I'm going to tell you what Frank Howard did one night at the buffet there. We had spring training with Washington at Pompano Beach. This was truly epic. We had finished the season before. I mentioned he was my roomie. He was 6'8", 303 pounds with a 36-inch waist. Gil Hodges was the manager. And after the season was over, he told Hondo, he says, as here's the 1-0 pitch. He says, you're going to come in spring training next year at 275, or I'm going to fine you $100 for every pound over. And back in those days, that was a lot of money. A lot of money. And still is, but especially back in the 60s. Well, he reported at 275. That ball hit hard. Get over his head. Makes the catch, so a hang woof him for Hector Jimenez. And we go to the third. We trail it 1-0. Between us right here, Rudy Law, the greatest base stealer in White Sox franchise history, with 77, and the juice, Julio Cruz.
I'm hanging here.
I tell you what, guys, that 83 season was something, wasn't it?
Yeah, good chemistry.
Unbelievable.
Well, you know, there were two huge things in the 83 season that really, I think, touched us off. First of all, when Tony moved Pudge to the number 2 hole, and then the acquisition of Cruz. That just lit everybody up, and all of a sudden now it gave everybody some speed besides just you.
Yes, it did. And you know what's amazing about that? When Julio came over, I remember early in the season he had like 35 stolen bases. You know, early in the season I think I had like 8 or 9, and I'm like, I ain't gonna never catch him. And you know, it's competition when you have a teammate who steals bases, and you know for stealing bases too. So I was trying to catch Julio, and eventually I caught him, but I never thought I would at the beginning.
And pass me.
Well, you know, same thing held true with our pitching staff. That inter-staff competition that year, we had Bannister and Dotson and Hoyt. They went 46-5 the last half of the season.
Didn't even know that, but I know our record was so good that we won the division by so many games. That
20.
That was that many?
20 games.
Like
we started off 14
games.
and 26 that year and wound up winning 99 games and winning the division by 20.
That was
By
awesome.
20.
And I said this, I'm sure you guys have heard me before. I've said this. In all my years of playing and all my years of broadcasting, which encompasses this is my 54th year in the game, I have never seen a club with better chemistry than that 83 club had. Was that unbelievable?
All through, one through 25 men.
Yeah. And you know, it's amazing. Everybody knew their role because of, you know, how Tony ran things, and it was pretty good. It's awesome when you know your role, and then you ain't got to worry about coming out and you know, you get to know it. And we used to have those team parties every year.
That's what was one of the great things about it. And, you know, Tony would relax the dress code, you know, and wear jeans on the flights and everything, and the guys have the parties. And there's a nice play right there by Gillespie. Yes. So Ryan is retired. But that club, you had Coos, who was one of the leaders of it, you know, and the Bullser. And we would sometimes after a ball game, especially after a loss, we'd sit in that clubhouse sometimes at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
And talk baseball.
And talk baseball.
That's it. Talk baseball.
That was amazing. You know what's amazing, too, about that? Everybody was, you know, you had the guys who were a little bit older, but you had the guys who were around the same ages in the young 20s and whatnot at the time, like Dotson and Hoyt and, you know, all those guys. And that was pretty awesome to be on a team with guys around the same age. The chemistry is good, and everybody's, you know, respecting each other. You know, it was a lot different when I came over to Dodgers because everybody was older and I was a rookie, so it was kind of hard to fit in, but over here it was awesome.
Well, Tony did a great job there of making everything fit and everything work. You know, he would sometimes, you know, those Sunday lineups he'd put out there, we'd put out the Dawn Patrol guys, and they'd go out there and kick somebody's behind.
Right. Remember the Booter?
The Booter boy.
Booter hit a triple. He's still running.
Let me ask you a question. He's done something I've never done. He scored from second base in Yankee Stadium on a sacrifice fly.
That's
Have
right.
you ever done that?
No.
That's right. Yep. The ball was hit so far in center field that by the time the ball came back into the infield, he had scored from second base.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was a lot of fun and a good
Booter was
guy,
a great team guy, great teammate.
And you know, it's amazing. He would get the games on the day game after the night game.
Yeah.
He played on the Sunday day games and whatnot, and did a great job too. So that was pretty cool.
Sure did.
And then we had to put up with Ron Kittle out there in left field. Was he a mess? All he did was hit 35 home runs and driving 100 that year, win Rookie of the Year. But it was an adventure in left. You had to play center and left center.
I told somebody when Harold went in the lineup, I was playing all 3 positions.
I know. Well, you know, people forget what a good outfielder Harold was.
He's great.
Had a good arm, accurate.
He wasn't known for his glove.
No.
And
Very
he was
underrated.
Very underrated.
Here's a 2-1 count. Well, I'll tell you guys, we got ourselves a nice little ball club this year. And this is, I think, it's got some of the same ingredients that we had back in '83. You got a terrific guy in Robin running the team. We got a terrific coaching staff. And all these guys like each other. So that's very similar.
Yeah.
We don't have one butthole in the whole club, because that's popped up. Well, Rudy and Juice, it is great to see you guys as always, and I know that we're going to be celebrating the 83 Club every Sunday with the uniforms that they wore, and they say those things are selling like hotcakes.
Are they?
Rudy Law, Julio Cruz.
Beckham took King Felix deep twice here at U.S. Cellular Field, becoming only the 4th player. Did a couple of home runs in the same game against the Mariners ace. The others, Brian Anderson, Jack Hanahan, and Ian Kinsler.
Yeah, the funny thing about Brian Anderson was, I think we faced Felix in his 4th Major League start out in Seattle when he was a rookie.
I remember watching the game on television, and I think at least one high fastball, maybe 2 of them, that he got over. Curveball?
Well, yeah, but the thing about it was, in his first 4 starts, he had not given up an extra base hit, Felix had. Now, is that unbelievable for a rookie? Not giving up an extra base hit. So we faced him in his 5th start, and Jermaine Dye hit a double down in the right field corner for the first extra base hit that Felix had ever given up. Now, Brian comes up, gets a fastball, and just rips it out of there for a homer. Comes back up a couple of innings later, gets a curveball, and rips that one out of there. So we got 2 of the 4 guys that have hit 2 home runs off of Felix. The Felix back in those days, now, when he came in, he was throwing 97, 98.
Yeah, different kind of guy. He hadn't refined the straight change yet. Now he's really become a pitcher. Then he was a thrower, but a very good thrower. Now he chose to sign a long-term deal. At the time, he was the highest paid pitcher in all of baseball. $175 million extension. Surpassed by Justin Verlander.
Beckham pops it up. Boy, Gordon is off to a good start. He was one of those guys last night that had those real good at bats. All 4 of them. One a sacrifice fly, one a base hit. Started off a run where he scored. Here's Diazza. It's great to see Rudy and Juice. I'll tell you, Rudy 77 stolen bases.
Still a club record.
Yeah.
I'm not sure it'll be broken anytime soon.
Yeah, John Cangelosi came in. A few years later, in his rookie season, he stole 50, which is still a rookie record. Those guys were so close-knit. It was just a beautiful thing to see.
It'll be nice to see a whole lot of those guys on Sunday afternoon, family day. Invited back to help relive and commemorate that '83 team.
Breaking ball high, 2-1.
Now the wind is really kicking up around home plate. So Jeff Nelson calls time.
Out and around it. And tickets for the 2013 season are on sale right now. Prices have been greatly reduced for nearly all games, and the schedule is full of great matchups, promotional nights, family Sundays, and post-game fireworks. So purchase your tickets by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. Here's Wise. Looking for it, got it, and underneath it. Struck him out on a good changeup. Yeah, but Stevie, there'd be many nights, which you know, back in even in your time zone, you guys did the same thing. You sit around after a ball game sometimes and just tell each other how bad we were, or how bad you were, or Hawk, how could you overthrow that cutoff man?
But there was a lot of talking baseball because it was a different era,
different culture.
And guys were trying to get every advantage they could, and so going over that game in the locker room after the game helped you for the next day. And guys did it consistently.
That breaking ball. That didn't take long. 1, 2, 3. We go to the 4th, trailing 1-0.
Rios, Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Live Mas.
Here's Kendrys Morales. Switch hitter. The DH today. Went out to left field his first trip. Breaking ball strike.
Morales didn't have a particularly good year with the Angels last year. However, in August and September, he started to look like the guy that he was before he got injured.
Backhand. Nice play.
Good play by Keppinger. And for Gordon, you got to know who's running. And I think Gordon took a little less time than he could have because Morales still very slow. Gordon tried to get the ball off quickly. He did. Threw it wide of the bag, and Keppinger had all kinds of time to get back and tag it with the glove.
So here's Morse. Alexei made a good pick on him. Low throw, and Keppinger made a beautiful pick. High in the center field. Wise. 2 down. And a reminder, you can send us your comments on today's game through Twitter using hashtag White Sox Talk, and we'll read one back later in the game. So here's Ibanez. What new? He doubled and scored the only run of the ball game. That was in the second inning.
It's the only hit of the ball game. As both of these guys have been pretty tough. Been just the one error that has made the difference.
There in the pass ball.
About ready to deliver his 61st.
Takes the strike. Yeah, we got to finish that Frank Howard. I got to give you the
total of what he ate.
Yeah. With 1 and 2 to count, 2 out, I don't have enough time in this half inning.
That last pitch, pretty good fastball. Started at the hip of Ibanez and then caught the whole plate.
He gone. Hook. He knew it. Third strikeout, Frax. And he trails it 1-0. in Game Live, only on csnchicago.com, brought to you by Comcast Business Class. Bottom of the fourth inning, 1-0 Seattle. But Frank, I mentioned that Gil Hodges was going to fine him $100 for every pound he came in over 275. So he checked in at 275. So now we're working out, and he's keeping it at 275. And this goes on for like 10 days, 2 weeks. And Frank, believe it or not, at 275 was just weak. He was getting out of gas. Then the game started. He was striking out 3 or 4 times a game.
Was used to carrying up over 300 pounds.
Yeah. So after he struck out 4 times in one game, he came up to me after the game and said, "Rumi, let's go. I've had enough of this. I don't care what DI," that's what he called Gil Hodges, DIs. "I don't care what the DI says." He says, "We're going to go out and we're going to get us some food." So after the game, as that ball is looped into right field, hit down it. Oh, it was foul. So we go to this place called the All-Star Lounge, which is right by the ballpark there. And they serve these giant, you would have loved them, these giant cheeseburgers. I mean, huge, like half-pounders.
That would have been, well, half. No, half is got to be bigger than that.
I had one, okay? He had 6 right there. He must have had 12 Heineken beers. Now we go back to the hotel. So they got a buffet there for all the players that we eat every night. As there's a strike in the count, now 1-2. So we go into the sideline, and they had this huge bowl of salad. And he looks at the girl behind the counter. He says, "Miss," he says, "can I have this?" She says, "What?" "This bowl of salad." And she goes, yeah, I guess, you know. So he took the bowl of salad to the table. He ate the whole bowl of salad. All right. Now we go back. They got chicken, and they got ham, and they had, what else? Roast beef. He starts with the chicken, and he tells the guy, "Just put the whole thing on my plate." So we go back to the table. He gets about 6 or 8 pieces of ham. He cleans that up. He goes back, gets another chicken. Now he goes and gets turkey this time and some roast beef. And the plate is stacked up like 4 or 5 inches high.
Well, that was for dessert, probably.
No, you wait. He eats all that. So now we're going to have dessert. He goes and he gets the whole lemon pie. Okay, he eats that. And then he says, "I think I'm going to have a little bit more." He goes back and gets an apple pie and eats that. So now there's a bar down on the waterfront there, on the inland waterway there, called Stan's. We go to Stan's about 11 o'clock that night. Stan came over and says, "You guys hungry?" Hondo says, "Yes." He said, "We're going to close the kitchen in a few minutes. What do you want?" Hondo says, "I'll tell you what, Stan." He said, "No, believe me when I tell you, I'm not joking around. I want 2 dozen eggs scrambled. I want a loaf of bread toast. And I want a pound of bacon." Stan looked at him and said, "You sure?" He says, "Yeah." Because he's got to pay for it. He brings him all that. He eats that. He must have had a case of Heineken beer while we were there at that thing and ate all that. He checked in the next morning. We weighed in as he gets a piece of that one. He weighed in. He checked out at 275. He weighed in and checked it back in at 297. And
did he get charged for it?
No, because you know why? The next day he hit a couple of home runs. And he started hitting the ball, so Hodges didn't find him. So he and your boy.
Be a good one.
They might be the 2 biggest eaters in baseball's history, as that's out number 1. I have never seen a human being consume that much.
Frank had a lot more space to put it in because he was a huge man.
And one of the greatest guys that ever stepped 2 feet on the face of the earth. Here's Adam. Adam struck out. Then the first inning.
That fastball by Felix Hernandez is not present today. I mean, he's throwing it to establish it, but it's been in the high 80s.
That's out of play. You see Ryan Staying right with it.
Game's a designated hitter for the White Sox. Frank Thomas leading the parade by a wide margin.
Two and one the count. And there's a solid base hit. So those good at bats last night. And you can cancel a post-game show if you're just tuning in. That's our first hit here with one out in the fourth inning.
Adam did the exact same thing last night. Only there were 2 outs in the fourth inning. Bevan had a no-hitter, and Adam came through with a base hit. This is a rolling curveball, not much break on it. Adam just waits back, and just like he did last night, the first hit of the ball game into right center field.
Here's Keppinger. Hit a ball in the hole, and Brendan Ryan made a terrific play. And gunned him out at first, easily.
Been a bad combination for Jeff in the early going when he has hit the ball well, and he's done it a couple of times. He's hitting it right at people.
There's a strike. Well, that goes hand in hand when you're scuffling. When you're going good, those same balls find a hole.
Or you have a swinging bunt. Nobody can make the play in the infield.
Uh-oh. Rack 'em up, and that'll retire the side. We have completed 4, and we trail it by 1. Open after every home game at US Cellular Field at the Gay 5 Plaza. Bacardi at the Park. Grab your friends and visit us. Top of the 5th inning. Dylan Axelrod has done his part. Gave up the 1 run. It was unearned on just 1 hit. That was back in the 2nd inning.
Well, Dylan knows he can ill afford to give these Mariners anything more with Felix Hernandez on the mound. And Felix is doing it today without much of a fastball.
Well, he's doing the same thing as we talked about Chris Sale did last year in Texas when he was He hit 90 twice. The highest I've seen Felix was hit 90.
And he hasn't done that very often. He's 88, 87 to 89 consistently.
Well, his first start 5 days ago against Oakland, he went 7 2/3 through 109 pitches. But when you get a changeup like he does, you don't have to have that big fastball. That's foul.
I like the way Dillon is using his fastball today because he's showing it to these Seattle hitters. Like that one, he threw it 3-4 inches inside. Smoke was able to get his hands up, but the only thing he could do with it was yank it foul, and he finds himself in an 0-2 hole.
Well, most of our guys have seen Felix twice now, and that becomes frustrating because you know he doesn't have his big fastball. He just makes you keep chasing that changeup and that slow curveball.
There's a look at Felix trying to win game number 100. He's only fanned a pair today. He needs 5 to get to 1,500 for his 27th birthday.
There's a bullet. Little Smoke. The leadoff single. That one, not a whole lot on it, and they had most of the plate. And the switch hitting Smoke, who is a much better left-hand hitter, drives that one into right field. Here's Dustin Ackley. Takes first pitch strike. Ackley was a player selected second overall in the 2009 draft after Steven Strasburg.
And it wasn't a tough decision for Washington. Strasburg has come back 100% from Tommy John surgery. They don't envision any restrictions on him this year. And we're going to see those Nationals coming up in the first leg of the road trip.
Pitch out, nothing doing. Well, today being April 6th, we mentioned 40 years ago today the designated hitter made his debut in Major League Baseball, and also a couple of birthdays on April 6th. Bert Blyleven back in 1951. Ernie Lombardi back in 1908. And Mickey Cochran 1903, and of course our own Kenny Williams in 1964. That's foul back.
Smoke doesn't run very well, but we'll see if Eric Wedge is in a gambling mood with nobody out, trying to stay out of the double play. If he believes that Ackley will make contact, he'll send Smoke. If he doesn't make contact, it's going to be a strike him out, throw him out.
Oh, you got a cookie right there. Couldn't do anything with it. Also, in the last 15 games we have played on April 6th, Sox are 13-2.
Bodes well for this one, but I'm not sure if Felix started any of those. This is a very early look at a team from the West.
There he goes. Trouble brewing here in the top of the 5th inning. The base hit and then the walk.
Was the 5th inning where Jose Quintana ran into some problems last night. So Jimenez and Ramirez out there to talk with Dylan Axelrod. The question is, in the first start by Gillespie at third, with Keppinger over at first, how they're going to defend what might be a bunt by Shopik.
Shopik struck out his first trip, so Gillespie does not think he's going to bunt. Keppinger halfway at first, and he is bunting. And he wasn't bunting on the third baseline either.
Now he's trying to push that one right at Keppinger. And Smoke, who doesn't have great speed, was off to a pretty good secondary lead. Might not be a bad time to employ that pickoff play at second base by using Ramirez as opposed to Beckham.
Now Gillespie even with the bag and off the line at third. And that's going to kick and spin foul. So very quickly the count 0-2.
That looked like one of your wedges. That ball just hit. Spun back into foul territory. Lands on the grass.
Not since I got rid of the square grooves.
Are those illegal?
Yeah. Ooh. Means you're going to have to spend some of your money. That's all it means, Steve.
Or not playing any tournaments.
Well, that's the other side of the page.
Most likely that'll be it.
One and two the count. Put him way right here. Don't let him back in.
Dylan looking for that ground ball. Ramirez, Beckham kind of pinching up the middle.
Two and two.
Pitch number 80 coming up for Axelrod.
Crowd has been very, very quiet. He gone. Dig out.
Fourth strikeout for Dylan. Hector does a nice job of framing it, maybe easing it back over the inside corner. Big pitch.
Here's Ryan. Grounded out to Gillespie at third. Just turning in. Paulie is not playing today. Keppinger moves from third to first. Gillespie over there at third. Now outfield. We got Diaza in left field. As you look at Paulie. Wise in center. Rios in right. The battery of Hector Jimenez and Dylan Axelrod.
I'd be giving Gavin Floyd some hitting tips for when he bats in Washington.
Yeah, the pitcher's taking some BP.
They're going to have to run the bases. I'm sure they're going to be able to swing the bat okay. But if the weather's chilly, you know, when interleague play over the last few years was played, it was the end of May at the earliest.
That one hangs inside. Ryan was going to take one for the club there on that slow curveball.
Pretty good numbers so far. But Dylan Axelrod in a jam here in the fifth.
All right, right to the bag. Now make a good throw. Yes! He pitches out of it. 2 on, nobody out. Strikes out. Shopik and Ryan hits into the 5-3 double play. We're halfway home, trailing 1-0. Mercy. p.m. First 10,000 kids 13 and under will receive a White Sox puzzle cube. Those are neat, like a Rubik's Cube. Purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
We saw those yesterday before the game. I think we're going to be able to solve that at least by August. I think if it stays wrapped, it'll be easier for us to solve it.
1-2-1 for their guys. 0-1-1 for our guys. Just 1 run and 3 hits in this ball game. So here's Connor. Takes ball 1. Connor grounded out 4-3.
But he ended last inning with a terrific play at third base to get Axelrod out of the inning.
That ball's hit hard. Maine will get over his head. It will. Yes. Now turn it on. Here's the throw. Safe. The leadoff triple for Connor Gillespie. His first hit in a White Sox uniform.
Certainly helped to have Morris in right field instead of Saunders. Saunders today playing center. Michael Morris, not the defender that Saunders is. And this ball just takes off, getting over the head of Morris, and then Connor Gillespie on the bad carom. Bad carom for Morris, good carom for us, hustling into third base.
So here is Alexei, reached on an error by Seager. That's low and away. Also, if you're just tuning in, the King, Felix Hernandez, does not have his big fastball today.
Infield back, they're going to concede the run, although Seager is in close at third.
Well, this is just when you got to make sure that the ball gets by the pitcher. So that's out number 1. And that'll bring up Hector Jimenez, who hit a bullet out to right center field, caught by Morse.
Seager right there. We told you he was close. And he's able to cut that ball off and save the run while getting the out.
Now they bring the infield in with one out.
This is a big at bat in this ball game. Maybe the biggest to this point.
And that is into center field. He's getting set. Here comes corner. Here's the throw. Safe! Right through the wickets. This game is tied at 1.
Kelly Shopik, in trying to deke Connor Gillespie, made no attempt to catch that baseball. He stood at home plate, no expression. You couldn't tell if he was going to catch it or not. It was a good throw by Saunders, but Gillespie just was able to slide in before the tag. Good solid throw by Saunders. It's on the money. Shopik just sitting there watching Connor slide right between his legs. Never tagged him anyway, although he decided to show the umpire the baseball.
Here's Gordon. Gordon went out to left field. Totals on the board identical at 1, 2, and 1. That breaking ball hit into left center field. Saunders making the call, has the ball, but the leadoff triple by Gillespie. We're into the 6th, tied.
A run on 2 hits. White Sox and Mariners tied at 1. Chris Bowden along the third base dugout side. And every Sunday home game this year, the White Sox will be recognizing the 1983 championship team from 30 years ago wearing throwback uniforms. Matter of fact, it's an entire weekend celebration to start things out. Today's giveaway was the knit hat worn today, given away for the first several thousand fans that you may have seen in the crowd. And then tomorrow and every Sunday home game, they'll be wearing the throwback uniforms from the division champs from 30 years ago. Here's a look at the warm-ups that were already in the guys' lockers this morning. A look at Tyler Flowers' warm-up. Now, Sundays is also family days. Thousands of seats could cost between $5 and $15. Parking only $10. So enjoy the prices, enjoy the throwbacks. And Hawk and Steve, the talk from Robin this morning was they were hoping to find the identical uniform from 1983 that Harold Baines wore and see if it needed any alterations. Guys, back to you.
I think it would. But right here, top of the 6th, the 1-0 pitch to Michael Saunders. Saunders has popped up to left and gone out to center.
One of the ways to hold down this Seattle offense to make sure Saunders doesn't get on, because he is a good base runner. He is a good base stealer.
High into center field, deep. Wise back. In front of the track. Saunders is one of those guys, the more you see him, the more you like him.
He's a good, solid player.
And a reminder, season tickets for the White Sox are available right now. Prices for most plans have been greatly reduced. So purchase the season ticket plan and gain access to the best seats at the best price with the most benefits. Purchase yours today by visiting whitesox.com.
We talked about Kyle Seager yesterday. 86 runs batted in, but 44 of them came with 2 outs, which is a key to a big contributor to your ball club and one of the very important stats you can have.
Well, most of the time, notwithstanding a game winner, of course, but most of the time guys will tell you the toughest run to drive in is man at second base and 2 out. And you know there wasn't 44 like that, but there was some at second base with 2 out. That's a terrific stat.
Well, especially for a youngster, and he is a very young third baseman, third pick, coming up through the Seattle organization. Things getting a whole lot better under their general manager, Jack Zurinsik. And he's done a great deal to improve offensively the big league team.
Well, you know, we mentioned that Ackley was the second player taken in the 09 draft behind Steven Strasburg. And the reason being is that year the Mariners won the last game of the season, Nationals lost the last game of the season, and that's what caused the pick.
Sounds like a Michael Jordan situation. "90 pitches for Dillon. Did a nice job of getting out of that 5th inning. Now the walk to Seager, and you've got to deal with the middle of the order. Inviting double play target in Kendrys Morales with Donny Veal throwing in the bullpen.
Well, if you had asked Robin prior to the game, look, if Axe can go through 5 giving up 1 run, would you take it? He would say yes.
An emphatic yes.
Change up high and wide. Good movement. Too much. That's high and deep into center field. Wise fighting that wind. And that wind, if you're just tuning in, has been howling. It is a blustery day here at the ballpark.
Morales hit that ball hard. Looked like it had a chance when it took off, and then the wind just batted it down.
When he hit it, I definitely thought it had a chance. So here's Morse. 0 for 2. Hot dog wrappers. Chance to get past the mound.
There's more on the way coming from left field.
Morris got a good breaking ball to hit, couldn't pull the trigger. Seager last year 13 stolen bases in 18 attempts. Big hack by big, strong Michael Morse.
He came into this series hitting 4 home runs in the 4-game series against the Oakland Athletics, which the Mariners split in Oakland.
Little high neck in. So the count 1-2. Jeff, a lot of trouble pitching in the wind.
Well, Candlestick Park was about, before they did the enclosure, was about as windy a place as I had ever been. And it proved difficult. There were some times when you couldn't take the sign standing up. There were some times when you actually had to take the sign bending over and leaning into the wind. I mean, the great story of Stu Miller being blown off the mound in the All-Star game, that was a very real possibility. And as you can see here, with the wind whipping up, Jeff Nelson calling timeout because Morris couldn't see. Now, my feeling is that's an advantage to Axelrod, but Jeff Nelson called the timeout. It's not easy, but you hope that wind, when it's blowing like this, is blowing in.
And there's the base hit. So with 2 out, they have 2 on. And that'll bring up who else? Ibanez. Ibanez, 1 for 2, a double, and a run scored. That was an unearned run back in the 2nd inning.
Ibanez is going to be an all-purpose player for these Mariners. He's going to be able to play some first, play some outfield if need be. And now Robin taking the long, slow walk out. And you would think he would go to Donny Veal, which might prompt a corresponding move by Eric Wedge, as Ibanez doesn't fare very well against left-handers.
Well, I'm going to get up and give Dylan Axelrod a big hand myself, because what a job he did giving up 1 unearned run. A terrific job. Pitching.
The ball game last night, walked the first left-hander he saw, Saunders, and then induced Morales from the right side to ground into a double play. So this, his 3rd appearance, has yet to give up a run. A couple of walks, however, in 1 inning, and he'll be facing Ibanez, who will stay in the game to face him. Dylan Axelrod head-to-head with Felix Hernandez, and he pitched him to a standstill. More strikeouts, which is surprising. And no earned runs, at least to this point.
Breaking ball, no. .40-year-old veteran Raul Ibanez. Third trip to Seattle. Which hitting Justin Smoke on deck. There's the strike. Ibanez has faced Donny Veal one time, then he struck him out. Three and one. Well, he's had to 2-0 now, 3-1. Oh, yeah. Sitting dead red and got the old hook.
Not going to be able to hit this one. Not when you're looking fastball all the way. That ball thigh high, inner third.
Two out, 3-2. He gone. Got two of them over in a big spot. Good job for Donny Veal. We'll go to the bottom of the sixth, still tied at 1.
CSN's coverage begins at 6 with McDonald's Bulls pregame live. It's Bulls Pistons tomorrow night at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus.
We're at the top of the order. The odds are wise. Rios to face Felix Hernandez.
Their third look at Felix, knowing now that that fastball isn't there. See if our hitters can take advantage of it.
Drops the hook on him.
Saunders very deep in center field for Diaz. Probably that's about 25, 30 feet deeper than Dwayne Wise plays against anybody. Diaz didn't like the call, but it was a good one by Jeff Nelson. That ball had the whole plate.
Yeah, good movement. A ball and 2 strikes.
Old buddy Don Vogel looking in from Ahwatukee, Arizona. It's taken him 2.5 months to find his wallet.
Where'd that come from? That's full count. Diaz.
Well, when we go out to dinner, we'd still be there.
Oh, he always left his wallet at home.
Oh, yeah. We'd still be there if I didn't eventually pay. And we waited a long time.
And there's a good way to start it.
That changeup got up in the eyes of Diaz, and he represents a go-ahead run. Actually, that was a fastball. Infield looking for a bunt from Dwayne Wise.
Dwayne has struck out and grounded out to second. Felix out of Valencia, Venezuela. Beautiful little town. A few hours west of Caracas. Just jabs at it. And the count 0-1.
He kept that bat back instead of moving it out into fair territory and fouled it off. Catchers really don't like guys who don't bunt very well, because when they inevitably foul it off, it's going to hit them somewhere. Hitters are having all kinds of problems with that swirling wind.
Especially guys with contacts. Pretty good lead. Got a good pitch to hit and pops it up. 1 out. Now, a reminder, Friday, April 26th, come see our Sox take on Tampa Bay at 7:10 p.m. And all fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Magellan Corporation. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. Here's Rios. He has walked and he has gone out to right field. Takes first pitch strike. Right at the bottom of the zone.
Chopik wanted that fastball low and away, and Hernandez throw it low and in. And with Ackley looking in and looking at the signs, he had actually shifted a couple of steps to his left toward first base, try to clog up that hole on the right side. So So it's one thing to have a defensive alignment, another thing to have a plan to go with every hitter. But then you have to have the pitcher execute and not go against what the catcher calls. Normally Felix can do it. He just didn't do it on the last pitch.
And he jumps out on top, 0-2 to Rios. Adam Dunn on deck. 22,461.
There was a time when a lot of managers would call 0-2 pitch outs, thinking that it's one of the best pitches to run. Let's see what Eric Wedge decides to do.
There he goes. And that's out of play, so the count remains 0-2.
He did not call the pitch out, but Diaz was off to the races.
Yeah, if you give that sign on 0-2 over there with a guy like Felix, you're just hoping it's going to be a breaking ball down.
Let's look at the former Major League catcher, Eric Wedge, longtime manager of the Cleveland Indians.
That ball hit high and deep, way back. Ibanez looks up. You can put it on the ball. Yes. Yes. He hung it and he heard it.
Second home run in less than 24 hours for Alex Rios. This a bomb to left center field. Wind or no wind, it wasn't going to stop this one. It's a Ford home run replay, and it looked like an off-speed pitch up and out over the plate, and Alex unloads. A no-doubter and a 3-1 lead against King Felix.
Adam could not check it up. He's 1 for 2. Had a good at bat in the fourth. Got a solid single out there in the right center. And of course another generous contribution to White Sox charities from Alex Snellius in loving memory of Ursula. Oh, 0-2 the count.
Well, we told you before the game that despite the fact that Felix Hernandez is one of the best pitchers in baseball and has been for some time, he's always fared poorly in this park. 1-4 lifetime with an ERA of 4.75 lifetime. And for a guy with that kind of ability, those are high numbers, higher than he's used to.
Got him. 2 down. First strikeout for Hernandez since the first inning. He now has 3.
That one painted on the outside corner.
So here's Kevinger. He's 0 for 2 today. Another curveball, another strike.
Hernandez about ready to deliver pitch number 90.
Kevinger. Bob to base hit on a beautiful play by Brendan Ryan, going deep in the hole, coming up and making a very strong throw to first as he fouls that one off. And he hit into a 5-4-3 double play in the fourth inning.
Nate Jones loosening up. Had a 2-inning stint last night. Gave up a couple of runs in the 10th after a spotless 9th.
Ryan throws him out, but not before the long 2-run homer by Alex Rios. We'll go to the 7th, leading 3-1.
A couple of jams that our boys have gotten out of. First, Dylan Axelrod with 2 on, induces a double play ground ball off the bat of Brendan Ryan. And then Donny Veal, also 2 on last inning, comes in, fell behind 3-1, and then strikes out Raul Ibanez. So a 3-1 lead, and Donny Veal stays in the game.
Well, you got a switch hitter in Smoke, who's much better from the left side. And you got Ackley on deck. Those were 2 big curveballs to Ibanez. Well, 3-1 and 3-2.
Certainly wasn't expecting a 3-1 curveball, and then 3-2. You get it close with a breaking ball, and more times than not, you're going to get them.
Two and 0 the count.
This 3-1 lead would not be possible without the wonderful pitching of Dylan Axelrod. 5 2/3 innings, 1 unearned run on 3 hits.
That's foul. Dylan was outstanding.
Well, he showed early that he could get the off-speed pitch over the plate, and what I liked was he showed him just enough of that fastball to make sure that they couldn't stay on the slow stuff. And so that's exactly how he has to pitch to be successful. And we saw how destructive this Mariner lineup can be, and Axelrod just held him down against a pitcher he knew was going to be pretty tough.
Well, he's got plenty of confidence.
Yes, sir.
Dylan has plenty of confidence, and he's got plenty of stones.
Well, Dylan talked about his recipe for success, and then he went out and matched it. He will not get a decision in this one, but he will get some accolades from his teammates.
Ball is scalded. Nice play by Alexei.
Can't hit the ball any harder than Justin Smoke. But if Alexei gets his hands on it, you're not going to be able to outrun that arm. This is a nice effort at shortstop on a fastball right down the middle. Ramirez with a couple of steps. And then, knowing Smoke can't run, just takes his time and fires it across.
Here's Dustin Ackley. 0 for 1 with the base on balls. Well, they tell us that Justin Smoke had a big sprain. with the acquisition of Kendy Morales. There's first pitch strike. Smoke's got a chance. He's got a chance to be a good player.
They would just love to see him somehow, and you've talked about it a number of times, being able to shorten up that stroke. Because until he does that consistently, he's not going to be able to square up the baseball. But we know he's got a lot of power. We saw him hit one in Texas that might still be going.
Well, he had 407, 5 homers, and 15 RBIs in the spring.
Nice spring.
He gone.
Donny Veal just overmatching the young left-hand hitter Ackley. Good hard-breaking slider, way out of the zone at 0-2. That's where you want to be. So that's going to be it for Veal, who does a great job. And now Robin going to the bullpen. So as Jones comes in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. Jones had a tough 10th inning last night. This is his third game. And Robin, knowing that a fragile psyche of a young reliever is very important. And so what you have to do is bring him right back and throw him into the action. Nate had a pretty long run at it prior to last night. The most appearances in White Sox history without a single loss, 66 of them.
That's huge.
And still in all, the team almost bailed him out of that one.
Yeah.
Came an eyelash from it with the bases loaded.
Kelly shopping 0 for 2 today.
Matt Thornton loosening in the pen.
Pops him up. Ate him up. Gillespie making the calls. Got the ball. That'll retire the side. So a 1-2-3 inning. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 3-1. for our guys, as here's our tweet of the game. This from Big Snacks 22. I feel like Sox are working good counts off Felix, just unable to capitalize. Well, the reason he doesn't have his big fastball, but the changeup will allow you to work some good counts. And of course, Alex Rios did capitalize when he made the mistake with that hanger.
He did indeed, and Alex has been swinging it good from the time the season started. In fact, he swung it well all spring. So it's not surprising that he unloaded on one, his second home run in less than 24 hours.
Here's Connor Gillespie, 1 for 2. Picked up his first hit in the White Sox uniform, a triple leading off the 5th inning, and now he picks up another one. A good short stroke of his. And this could be another huge pickup.
Well, a lot of people waited for that huge free agent that Rick Hahn might sign during the wintertime, and instead he got Keppinger, he got Gillespie, he got Lindstrom, who we saw last night was absolutely brilliant out of the bullpen. So he did some things to make the team maybe 1% better. And we've seen today with the flexibility of Gillespie and the fact that he can hit some tough pitchers, he could be a big addition to this team.
Here's Alexei, 0 for 2. Breaking ball comes back and catches the inside corner. And one thing about Gillespie, he's just 25 years old.
San Francisco apparently ran out of room. They've got some pretty talented players over there, and so Rick was able to pick him up. Charlie Furbush warming up in the bullpen.
Well, that's just good scouting. That's all that is. That's just good scouting. Guys scouring those late season and spring training where there's just no room for them, and yet they can play. Now, you very seldom see that happen on a second division ball club, but on contending clubs, yeah.
Well, you mentioned it because he was ticketed to be able to hit off the bench, and he can't do that without a short stroke. And he's shown today that he doesn't have to start to come in when he does start and look awfully good.
That's a fair ball right down the line. So Alexei comes through. They're going to hold Connor at third. Runner set on the second and third bases. Nobody out.
You can't play a no doubles defense in a situation where you're down. And that's a fastball, and as you can see, Felix just doesn't have much on it today. This ball down the line past the diving Seager, then stays fair all the way down that line. So a golden opportunity to add to the 2-run lead as our hitters have out-hit the Mariners 6-3 and trying to pad that lead.
Ducks on the pond. Now they're going to put Jimenez. They're going to put him on. Get to Beckham. All right, Gordon.
What does a hitter feel like when you see this? When they walk the man in front of you, whether he's a lefty, whether he's an everyday guy, power hitter, whatever. What's Gordon feeling right now?
As competitive as he is, he's chomping at the bit. He's chomping at the bit. He is PO'd.
Just saying, I'm going to show you not to do that anymore
exactly
ahead
right.
of me.
And you get some guys, you know, they just take it, you know, like it's, hey, that's just baseball. There's no big emotion. Gordon, there's probably more emotion than with most in his case.
Well, he started swinging the bat during spring training and hasn't stopped. He's gotten off some great early season at bats. The 4-for-4 game was one thing, but I'm just talking about consistently putting together good at bats.
Well, that's what happened last night. As we talked about early, if you're just tuning in, we had more good at bats in that game last night than we did in the first 3 games combined. Gordon had 3 outstanding at bats last night.
King Felix at the 101 pitch mark.
And field in. Good check right there. Always a big pitch in this scenario. First pitch of the sequence. And it goes Gordon's way.
With the bases loaded over the course of his career, not near as good as it's going to be.
Tops that one foul. Yeah, when I was playing with the Red Sox, I got used to it because I had Yastrzemski hitting in front of me. And I'm saying to myself, hey, I'd be doing the same thing, guys, if I were y'all.
Just about every right-hander in baseball would pitch around him.
Cues that one now. Felix has got the advantage of 1-2. That was the 104th pitch thrown by Hernandez. He threw 109 in his first outing against Oakland. That's high, Nick. Of course, Gordon got him twice. Last year, June 1st, right here.
And Felix is reaching back for whatever he's got, and the fastballs have topped out 88, 89 miles an hour. That last fastball at 89. So he's trying to do it today with smoke and mirrors compared to his usual stuff. That ball popped away from Shopik. He just missed the strike zone. Here's our AT&T multi-view. Pretty good speed out at second base. And the arms in the outfield. Saunders with the best by far in center field. You can run on Ibanez and Morris. That ball well out of the strike zone, but Gordon had to protect with a 3-2 count. You'd have to figure if Hernandez does not get Gordon, he will not be around to face Diaz.
Once again, the payoff. And that's popped up in the center field. That's not going to be good enough. So that's out number one.
And now you get to manage along with Eric Wedge. You've got your ace on the mound, one of the best pitchers in the game. Down 3-1, but he's at the 108 pitch mark, and it looks like Eric has made his decision. He has Furbush up in the pen. That's it. Hernandez will not win game number 100 before his 27th birthday as he exits. Furbush comes in and will be back. Charlie Furbush, who comes in with the bases loaded in relief of Felix Hernandez. Only one out here in the 7th. Sox up by a pair. There you look at the numbers. 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. He has faced 3 hitters, and he'll be looking at the 2 left-handers, Diaza, and depending on the resolution of that at bat, Wise.
You know, you're talking about, as you look at Felix's line, you're talking about guys, how they are on deck when they walk a guy to get to them. I'll give you a good example of another thought process with Lou Piniella. I think it was in the 77 World Series, the Yankees and the Dodgers. The big right-hander who'd won a lot of games for him walks Reggie Jackson to get to Piniella. Steve Yeager was catching. Lou walks up to the plate, and that loaded the bases. Lou looked at Yeager and he says, "Are you guys crazy? You just cost yourself a World Series." Sure enough, second pitch, got a base hit. He told Yeager, he said, "You guys crazy?" So here we go. Sox packed with Sox. Diaza.
And the wind just keeps howling. Infield in at all 4 positions, as Eric Wedge knows. It's one thing to think about, too, but with Diaza running, you got to cut off the run at the plate.
Takes first pitch strike. Okay, if we can't push at least 1 across here, that's a big momentum shift right there. Second and third. And then the base is loaded. Nobody out. That's poked out in the left field. They're going to give this one a shot, I think. And there's a bat throw. Well, he scores.
Yeah,
and it's 4-1.
That's all Ibanez really has, and that's a big advantage. There was no doubt Joe McEwing was going to run on anything hit to Morse, but especially Ibanez. So RBI number 4 for Diaza. And you can see the short arm of Ibanez, who at this point of his career is better served as a designated hitter.
Well, you called it right. I mean, that's all he's got. He tried. He gave everything he had. It's just not enough.
Big run batted in. That charge to Hernandez.
Blocked nicely by Shopik.
2 sacrifice flies today. One by Jimenez back in the 5th inning. One on the last swing by Diaza. We saw Stephen Pryor last night. He's loosening up in the pen. Pryor went 2 innings of goose eggs.
The 1-0 pitch to D. Wise. Four, 6, and 1 for our guys. 1, 3, and 1 for their guys here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Wise has faced Furbish 1 time. He has a base hit. Now the count 2-1. That's 3-1. Rios on deck.
And we will most likely see Pryor if he doesn't get Dwayne Wise.
It's full.
This will give the base runners an added advantage.
And he comes back and gets him, but we pick up a big run. Sacrifice fly there by Diaz. We'll go to the 8th, leading 4-1.
One hitter, that being Brendan Ryan, who's going to lead off the 8th inning. It'll be Ryan, Saunders, and Seager. Saunders and Seager, the left-handers, ahead of Morales, who's a switch hitter, and for that reason, Matt Thornton throwing in the bullpen. So with 2 innings under his belt from last night, I think Robin would like to get one more hitter, preferably an out, and then slap Nate Jones on the back, telling him he did a pretty good job and getting him out of there.
Ryan twice has gone out to third. Connor Gillespie has had a big game, in case you're just tuning in. Made a good play to start a double play in a big spot. That was in the 5th inning. 1 out, men on first and second. And a leadoff triple, leadoff single, and he has scored a pair. His errors to strike to even the count at 1.
I could see his role evolving into a guy that will start against some of the tougher right-hand pitchers around.
Very easily.
Because Felix is one of those guys. Didn't have it today, but you don't know that going into when Robin's making out that lineup.
Well, that's why Felix is such an outstanding pitcher. He didn't have his good stuff today, and he still keeps his team in the ball game. Because when Felix has got his good stuff, I mean, you can just wrap it up and send it to Cooperstown.
As we've seen a lot in their park, but not in this park.
No, he's had trouble here. And he's had trouble against our club overall, period. There's a soft little single. Meanwhile, it's a single.
Ryan just threw his bat at that one.
And want a fantastic White Sox experience? Check out the Comcast Fundamentals deck here at US Cellular Field. You can interact with the White Sox trainers, run the bases at the wiffle ball diamond, and test your swing at the batting cages. Catch all the action with Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY to learn more. So Nate will depart. Matt Thornton comes on, and we'll be back.
Is Matt Thornton, who inherits Brendan Ryan at first base. It's a 4-1 game, and there you look at the numbers for Matt Thornton so far. An inning of work with a strikeout. The bullpen, by and large, over the course of this very young season, has been excellent. Nate Jones had problems last night, but that's about it. The rest of the guys out there have been throwing the ball exceptionally well.
So here's the leadoff hitter, Michael Saunders. Has popped to left twice. He has gone out to center once deep. Decent lead by Ryan. Takes first pitch strike. Saunders has faced Matt 4 times and he's 0 for 4. As we talked about earlier, this kind of guy right here, that the more you see, the more you like him.
Eric Wedge liked him from the beginning, but thought he might not have a spot for him. Last spring, he was really scuffling to try to compete to just earn a spot on the ball club. But Eric Wedge had confidence. Gutierrez went down with another injury. And Saunders took over in center field and put together a solid year, and now he's a mainstay.
Two and one to count.
Against the Mariners, a team that drafted him #1 way back when. He's had a pretty strong run at it. ERA of 1.63.
That ball's hit hard and out of here. That wind got it and blew it right on out of here. And all of a sudden now, we talked about that last situation where we better pick up a run. It's a 4-3 ball game.
First home run of the year for Saunders, opposite field. He drives in runs 3 and 4. As Thornton with a high fastball right down the middle sees it disappear over the left field wall. So things getting a little tighter here.
Here's Kyle Seager. Grounder to second. Fly out to center and a walk. Takes first pitch strike. Swirling wind here at the ballpark. Ate him up. Watch out. 1 out.
And that's taller than Connor Gillespie, but usually the pitcher gives way, especially up the third base line. Good inside fastball. Seager couldn't pull his hands in.
So we're getting to the iron, the muscle of the lineup. Here's Morales. Kendrys has gone out to left. Grounded out 4-3. And gone out to center. Four, 6-1 for our guys, 3, 5-1 for their guys here in the top of the 8th.
Jesse Crane loosening up in the bullpen, and he's most likely getting ready for Morse.
2-0 the count. Morales 1 for 4 lifetime against Thornton. Come back and get him, no walks. There's one.
You just as soon keep this ball away from Morales. He's going to hit it. Let him hit it to right or right center. You don't want him pulling anything because of the wind blowing out to left and left center.
That's foul. So a full count. And the count gets him.
Now we'll most likely see a pinch runner for Morales.
And here comes Robin. So Matt will depart. That opposite field homer got up in that wind, took it right out of here for Michael Saunders. We got ourselves a 1-1 ball game, and we'll be back.
Is Jesse Crane. He inherits a tying run to first base. And Jesse on for the third time. He picked up an inning last night. 1 1/3 overall with a hit and a couple of strikeouts. He's going to be looking at Michael Morse with Jason Bay coming on to pinch run at first base, taking the place of Morales, representing the tying run in a 4-3 game.
So here we go. Big, strong Michael Morse. 1 for 3 today. Comes in with 4 homers and 6 RBIs. Big hack at a hook.
Last night, Jesse had a very good over-the-top curveball. His fastball was upwards of 93 miles an hour. But it was the hook that got him the spotless inning.
And Morse was the first guy that Jesse faced. He flied to right field. That one at 93, and the count evens at 1. Advantage goes back to Morse. 2 balls and a strike. And a reminder, finale of this series and this homestand tomorrow, Casale against Iwakuma. So make your plans to be with us here at the ballpark. Two the count.
2 breaking balls for strikes, 2 fastballs for balls. And you'd like to just as soon end it here, not giving Bay a running start.
Just a decent lead by Bay. I mentioned Sale against Iwakuma tomorrow in the finale. If you can't make it, that game will be over WGN.
Jesse trying to heat him up at 94. He shook off the breaking ball. Let's see if he goes back to it. Of course, he does have an exceptional straight change.
Up high, fastball, full count.
Raul Ibanez in the on-deck circle.
Bay off pitch. There goes Bay. And it's academic. So more trouble brewing. There's Ibanez. Ibanez, a double and a run scored in the second. That was an unearned run. The only run that Dylan Axelrod gave up. He went 5 2/3, 1 unearned run, 3 hits, 2 walks, had 4 strikeouts. Ibanez has faced Jesse 5 times officially, 0 for 5. Tying one at second. Go ahead, run on at first. Count evens at 1. Drops the hook on him. Outfield is straight up, spread out a little bit. He gone. Gas.
He heats him upstairs. That one at 95, and he threw it right by Ibanez.
So here's Smoke. He's 1 for 3. Whipped a single to lead off the 5th inning. Get over there. Yes. Jesse pitches out of it. But they come up with 2 on the opposite field homer by Michael Saunders. We go to the bottom of the 8th leading, 4-3.
with the Predators this week. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live. Don't miss Blackhawks Predators tomorrow night at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Looked like on the last pitch, Jesse Crane might have crossed up Hernandez. He wanted it away, and you see him, he exposes his throwing hand and then gets hit on the hand with the bat. And then Jesse's talking it over with Hector. Obviously, Hector expecting something different than Jesse threw in the all's well that ends well category. It worked out well, but Hector might have a sore hand out of it. And there's a young man who is really enjoying this one.
And why not? We got ourselves a 4-3 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And a new pitcher.
Stephen Pryor, who looked very good last night, comes into this one. No ERA, 2 1/3 innings, 2 of them last evening. As you can see, nobody's done anything with him so far.
Alex Rios has walked, going out to right, and then hit a long 2-run homer. His second of the season. That was in the 6th inning.
Got a hold of an off-speed pitch that was up and out over the plate and took it way back.
That is high. And a souvenir. 0-2 the count. One final round of big leagues. Toronto shut out Boston 5-0 up in Canada. And that fouled back. Happ over Lackey. Cincinnati tied up Washington at 5. That game now going to extra innings. Checks it up.
Pryor originally drafted by the Texas Rangers in the 42nd round, 2008, but decided not to sign. He was at Cleveland State Community College at that point.
Drops that one foul. Another action around Major League Baseball will show Cleveland and Tampa Bay. That's Bauer against Cobb. Yankees at Detroit. Scherzer. On the bump for the Tigers. Kansas City at Philadelphia. Mendoza against Lannon. That's low and away. Orioles hosting the Twins. Worley against Tillman. Top of the 9th. At City Park. That's leading Miami 7-3. Later on, Angels taking on the Rangers down in Texas. Harrison on the bump for Texas. That ball hit hard. Stretch. Stretch. Right in front of Jimmy Johns. He makes the catch.
Wrong part of the ballpark. You pull that one just a little, and that wind could have aided it. As it was, Saunders went back and made the catch.
So here's Adam. And get your young White Sox fan in the game. Sign him up for the 2013 Kids Club presented by the University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. All-star members will receive a youth jersey, White Sox cap, ticket coupons, and more. Sign up today at whitesox.com. Want to know the count? To done. Adam. 1 for 3. A solid single back in the 4th inning. 2-1. Kepinger on deck.
In that Cleveland-Tampa Bay game, Trevor Bauer is getting a start for the Indians. Scott Kazmir went on the disabled list. He's really had an injury-plagued last few years. And Trevor Bauer, #1 draft choice of the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2011. He fell out of favor there, traded to Cleveland, and he's got overwhelming stuff. Question is, can he harness it at this very young age? Could be a big addition to that Cleveland rotation.
Got him. Breaking ball, 2 down.
And our picks to click, you might remember earlier. Crew took Dwayne Wise, 0 for 4. I decided to stick with Alexei Ramirez, who's had a wonderful day defensively, as well as going 1 for 3 with a double. And George Gordon Beckham, 0 for 3. That's Hawks' pick. So it looks like it's cut and dried to this point.
To this point, I would concur.
But you never know what that bottom of the 8th inning holds.
Kepinger 0 for 3. Just struggling, but he will turn this around. He's a good player. Takes a strike. A lot of times you see a guy come over, either a deal or a free agent signing like Kepinger has, get to a new city. Takes him a while to get his bearings. That's high into right center field. Saunders is there, so a nice inning for Pryor. We go to the 9th. Ackley, Shopik, and Ryan, the scheduled hitters. Our White Sox with MLB.com at Bat12 for your iPhone, iPad, and Android. Get all the scores, stats, highlights, live audio, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit WhiteSox.com.
Addison Reed comes into the ball game to try to nail it down, looking for his 3rd save of the year. He's given up nothing. 2 for 2 in save opportunities, a walk, a strikeout. And he'll be looking at the bottom part of the order. Ackley to lead it off. It looks like Franklin Gutierrez might be coming on a pinch hit for Shopik.
Ackley 0 for 2 with the base on balls. Outfield slightly to the left. Gillespie at the cut of the grass at third. And first pitch strike to Ackley. So Addison Reed, our 6'4", 220-pound right-hander out of San Diego State. And the count 0-2.
There's Gutierrez. He started the ball game last night, went 3 for 5. Drove in 3 runs, scored 3 runs. Big night for Franklin.
That one at 94. Breaking ball, pretty good pitch to hit. Fouls it back. One and two the count to Dustin Ackley. Kevinger will suck it up. Big out always. First out of the inning, 1 down.
Threw a good slider low and in. Ackley hit it hard, but right at Kevinger.
So here's the 30-year-old outfielder, Franklin Gutierrez. Steve told you what he did last night. 3 for 5, homer, 3 RBIs, and 3 scored. When he's healthy, he's a heck of a player. Boy, he's been absolutely plagued with injury after injury after injury.
Well, Eric Wedge knows they're a better team when Gutierrez can do most of the center field work. If they can keep him healthy, they're going to rotate the DHs. But he'll be a constant in center field.
Breaking ball strike.
As a pinch hitter, for a guy who plays most every day, it gets a little tough, and he's hitting .222 lifetime.
High slicing into the seats for the souvenir. Meanwhile, 0-2 the count. That fastball upstairs, that one at 93. Chris Sale against Iwakuma tomorrow. Make your plans to be with us. Then we'll have an off day on Monday. It'll be a travel day. We'll go to Washington for 3, Cleveland for 3, and Toronto for 4. He gone. 2 down.
Good sharp breaking late slider. Might not have been as outside as he wanted, but it certainly was effective because of the late movement. That ball stayed on the inner portion. He got away with it.
Boy, you're right. That thing was a late breaker there.
1 out to go. And now Ryan is being called back. And we're going to see another pinch hitter.
Montero.
Nope. Oh, it is Montero. Jesus Montero. I thought he'd go to the left-hander. He's taking a very strong right-hander instead. And Montero did start the ball game last night. Had a big RBI single for them in the 10th inning. It drove in what proved to be the winning run. It was the 8th run at the time, giving him a 2-run lead. His only hit of the game was a big one.
Well, make no mistake about it. The reason Eric Wedge sent him up there because he is dangerous. Tacks it up. Takes the slider down low.
That one looked pretty good, and I know that Addison wanted it. Didn't get
youngsters going at one another. Montero 23, Addison 24. And the count 2-0. Montero's faced him 4 times and has a double.
Nice soft slider.
I love it. Nice. I love it on 2-0, 3-1 when they take a little something off the breaking ball.
Well, he's got Montero looking for a fastball or a hard slider. Instead, he got the off-speed slider.
Yes. Late call. 2-2.
See where it pops up on pitch tracks, and it did indeed have the lower part of the strike zone. So this is a man we've been looking for all day long. Fans on their feet.
He gone, and this ball game is over. So Addison Reed comes on, picks up his 3rd save. Young man last year set a White Sox rookie record for saves with 29, and the Sox even up this series. They win it 4-3.
3 straight sliders, the 3rd of which just disappeared. Montero goes down on strikes. A big win. Axelrod threw great. Donny Veal got the win, but at the end of the day, it was beating King Felix and denying him his 100th win.
Well, we have had good success against him. We are now 5-3 against King Felix. And when you take when you talk about the matchups coming in, you're talking about Dylan Axelrod against Felix Hernandez, who won his first game out against Oakland. You're saying to yourself, boy, I'll tell you what, last night we should have won that ball game.
Exactly
but I'll tell you one, as we talked about, Axelrod got big stones, got a lot of confidence, and he went out there, went 5 over 5, 2/3, and gave up only 1 run, and it was unearned.
And just a big effort today. Good enough effort by the offense. They caught Felix Hernandez on a day when he didn't have his great stuff. But all in all, Dylan Axelrod was brilliant. At the end of the day, Addison Reed doing what he did most of last year and all of this year, giving the opposition nothing. So 3 for 3 in saves, and for the most part, I know Thornton had a tough time with the ball that got up with the wind blowing out to left field, but the bullpen's done a nice job.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sure. Well, one of the things, too, is this is a better ball club than we have seen from the Seattle Mariners in a long time. Coming into yesterday's game, we'd beaten them 11 out of 12 and 24 out of 28 over the last 3 years. That's no longer the case. This is a pretty good ball club. So with Chris Sale on the bump tomorrow against Iwakuma, we got a chance to have a nice homestand.
I think if we win that one and we go 4-2 heading on the road, bear in mind we have the off day, but then our boys are going to relish that because they're playing for 20 straight days after that.
All right, let's go down on the field right now to our 25-year-old third baseman. They had a big game, made a good play defensively, starting a double play. Couple of leadoff triples, singles, scored 2 runs. Connor Gillespie. And Connor, nice going, big guy.
Hey, thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Well, you're coming over here now, and they were happy to get you with that good, short, quick swing of yours. And
right.
You got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous most of the day, and it's this game's so crazy sometimes how it works out. I about had 30 panic attacks seem like during the game. It's not that I've never played here, but to feel like I'm important and can contribute in a positive way is, that puts a lot of pressure on a younger guy. So I'm glad I was able to do the job today.
Did Robin tell you last night that with a quick turnaround you were starting today against one of the league's best? Yeah,
he did. Actually, Bernie told me last night. Like I said, crazy game. That guy's one of the best guys in the business. So I'm pretty lucky to square up a couple balls and make a tough play. And like I said, it's a crazy game sometimes.
Connor Gillespie, don't stop now, buddy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, our 25-year-old, he's a good-looking young player, Connor Gillespie. Right now, let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is Alex Rios, our GMC player of the game. All he did was go 1 for 3 with a long 2-run homer, our GMC player of the game. So for my partner, Steve Stone, and also Chris Bowden, our director, Jim Angio, our producer, John Walker, and our associate producer, Chris Kamka, our technical manager, Mark Harper, also the executive producer, Jim Corno Jr., for the mayor, Mean Joe Groove, and up here in the booth, Mike Mayer, Frank D'Amato, down in Truck and Sound, Doug Bullard. This is Hawk. So long, everybody. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.